Hey guys, welcome to TST Garage. I'm Bart, and today in this video, I'll be showing you how to install the TST Industries Brake Light Modulator on your bike. Now, a brake light modulator, sometimes called a strobe, sometimes called a brake light flasher, what it does is basically enables you to install some electronics on your bike so that when you press your brakes, the brake light flashes in some kind of pattern and alerts the drivers behind you that you will be stopping. Our particular brake light modulator comes pre-wired to a plug that interfaces with a sub-harness that we provide specific to your bike model that enables plug-and-play functionality with your bike. So that means that the installation is really fast and you can do it yourself. Now, the electronics inside, we do have the ability for you to program this unit to 3 different functions and then subsequently adjust the rate of the effect to your liking. Our first programmable mode is strobe alert. This mode will produce 9 flashes and then stay solid for the duration of the brake engagement. Second one is intermittent pulsar. Each cycle will flash 10 times and then pause, and then these cycles will repeat for the duration of the brake engagement. The last available option is pulsar, and this one just basically provides continuous flashing for the duration of the brake engagement. Now we'll show you how to install this. It's really simple. And then after the installation chunk, I will show you in detail how to get inside here, how to program the different modes, and how to alter the rate of those different modes. We did think about the safety of such devices during the design phase. So we decided to design this in a way that it will be a pass-through component. In case you experience a failure on board here, it will just pass through your normal brake function, which means you press your brake light lights up, there's just no effect. In case you do experience that failure, we do offer a warranty, so we have guys standing by in our support department that will take your call, email, Facebook message, whatever, and we'll get you replaced. And that's pretty much it. I'm really excited to show you guys just how easy this is to put on and configure. So let's get started. All right, for this presentation in this video, we got ourselves a mostly stock Yamaha R1. We will be installing the brake light modulator along with the help of our vehicle specific wiring harness. 4-conductor plug snaps into the 4-conductor plug on the harness, and now we are terminating in the male and female connectors that are present on this harness and taillight. For our physical installation to the bike, we'll be using the provided zip ties. All the installation steps will be under the passenger seat without any subsequent part removal. Let's get under here, jump up to the top, and I'll show you how to do it. At this point, we will need to remove this main taillight connector on the left side of the bike. When looking backwards on the right side of the connector here, there is a tab that you would press down. It is exactly the same connector as this in this orientation. Press this towards the wire location, and that unlocks this connector. All right, once this is unplugged, we will get our harness in place. It's keyed so that it fits into this connector only one way. This is a pretty tight connection at times. On some of these bikes, I've noticed that this connector fits in here pretty tightly, so just be patient and get that seated. And the other connector will go in here. Before I mount this physically, I like to give it a test run, make sure that everything's working properly. We have running light, we have brake light, and we actually have the function. So, the next section in this video portrays the steps necessary to remove this cap, program, and adjust your flash rate modes. I would recommend that you watch the entire video and then go through the next few steps to mount this physically. Since we are focusing on the physical installation now, I will show you how to do it. So we have a bulk of wires from the stack up of our OEM harness and also our new sub harness for our brake light modulator here. How you distribute that will be Largely up to you. If you want to use the other wire tie from the kit that we send with these brake light modulators, that's cool. We'll only be using one for the physical mounting. So the other one's up for grabs. I will basically just be jamming these wires in between other geometry here that will keep them in place. And then I will be tying off my modulator to this component here. Now, what you see here on this bike is that the signals have been eliminated, OEM signals. They have harness components on them that fit and snap into these windows here. So you don't see that on this bike. And we'll make the installation universal to this setup and also the setup where you still have the OEM signal wires hooked up in here. They loop over, they come from the bottom and they exit towards the bottom, so you have two looms here. We will still, regardless whether you have them or not, we'll still attach this modulator here in this place. If you have those wires, you could get the zip tie here underneath those wires. If you don't, you could get it around this bracket here and it'll still do the same job. Now I like to start the zip tie before I bring my modulator in place. And then, as you can see here, we have a built-in channel that is meant for a cable tie to be used to tie it off. So making sure that I have my cable tie under the cap and into that channel, I will now cinch down on this wire tie, cut off the excess, and that'll be that. Let's replace the passenger seat, give it one more test, and then this installation will be done. For mode selection and rate adjustment, we will need to get inside this capsule to access the electronics. These two Phillips head screws will need to be removed. What I like to do is unscrew them until they disengage from the receiving threads and leave them in the cap. Otherwise, it's pretty easy to lose them. If we pull them off with the cap, they are self-captive. All right, now we'll identify the parts here. This button is the mode selector, and this potentiometer is your rate adjuster. Clockwise is faster, counterclockwise is slower. Let's first do our selection of modes. With the brake pressed, press the button once to toggle to the next available program. Now the brake does have to be pressed so that the unit powers up, otherwise you won't be able to make the selection. If you find that you've pressed the button but the selection has not been changed, just do it again with the brake pressed. So now we will go on to the next program, press the brake once more, press the button once, and now you're in the next mode. Now we've switched twice, so pressing it one more time will return to the original mode that your unit arrived in. Now for rate adjustment, we'll be using the potentiometer. With the brake pressed, we can turn it clockwise to make it go faster, counterclockwise to decrease the rate. Now in brake alert, you will only have 9 flashes to make your adjustment, and then it'll stay solid. This one doesn't actually lend itself to really fast flashing at the top of the range. Bottom of the range is unusable, so I like to set it somewhere towards 3/4 to maybe 80% clockwise, and that does it for me. Now if we change to the next one, this one is the pulsar, and this one just keeps on flashing, so I like to have it going pretty fast here. Choice is really up to you. If you want to explore the next mode, we have the intermittent pulsar. This one to me belongs somewhere close to the top of the range, makes it the most visible. But again, freedom means choice. The decision is ultimately up to you. Once you're done with your adjustment and you're where you want to be with all your modes and rates, replace the cap, turn the screws back in, and it really is just that simple. Replace your brake light modulator in the space that you decided to keep it, and you're good to go.